Well, the Democrats have been awful quiet lately. It's almost as if they have something up their sleeve coming real soon. And I don't quite yet know what that is. But what I do know is that right now there are a lot of Democrats in leadership positions that are literally threatening the Trump administration with Tiananmen Square kind of stuff. I mean, this is insane. The question has to be asked, is civil war in their playbook? And I hope and pray that that's not the case, God forbid. But some of the things that they have been threatening with are really, I guess, it's sending chills down my spine, to be very blank, or to be very blunt. I want to start with this because this is what triggered a lot of them. And it's what Donald Trump posted on his Truth social page. But take a look at this. And he retweets this tweet and he says the word true. But here's what he's talking about that is true. And this is from Tom Fitton. Good news. Reports are incoming at real Donald Trump administration is prepared to declare a national emergency and will use military assets to reverse the Biden invasion through a mass deportation program. And Donald Trump reposts that on Truth Social with the word true. In other words, Donald Trump is very serious about his campaign promise of mass deportations and making that actually happen. So much so that according to his Truth Social post, he is willing to declare a national emergency and use military assets to accomplish that. Now, of course, this has the Democrats up in arms and they are completely pissed about this and they are going into full defiance mode over it. Now, I've got a lot to share with you regarding their comments, but before I do, here's a quick break from my sponsor. Well, don't eat breakfast until you learn about caloric bypass. In fact, your breakfast is setting you up for the entire day, whether you lose weight or gain it. About 4 hours after you eat dinner, your body switches from the nutrients that we get from food to the stored glycogen that we have in our body. Once glycogen stores are depleted, which is about an 8 to 12 hour fast, your body shifts to burning fat for energy. Well, fatty acids are then released from fat stores where they are converted into ketone bodies through a process called ketogenesis. Then when you eat breakfast, your body starts the entire cycle all over again. And this is where caloric bypass comes into play. Dr. Gundry, a heart surgeon in California, learned that if you break your nightly fast with something called MCTs or medium chain triglycerides, you can actually keep burning fat throughout the day and use it for energy. But there are specific types of food that contain these MCTs. Now, using this breakfast breakthrough, he was able to lose 70 pounds at age 60. All you have to do to check it out is go directly to thehealthyfat.com/haven. That's thehealthyfat.com/haven. And you can find all the information about this particular method. And remember, everybody's body processes differently, especially when you take your individual metabolic type. So please make sure you watch this video. If you want more information, click that more button if you're on your cell phone or click the link in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive into what some of these Democrats are saying regarding this because they're even comparing it to like bloody massacres. Take a look at this post. And this is on the Denverite.com, how Denver's mayor is responding to Trump's threats to defund sanctuary cities. It goes on to state this: the mayor pledged to continue to protect undocumented immigrants. That includes those who have arrived in recent years and those who built their family in Denver over decades. Quote, I think we are gonna continue to be welcoming, open, big-hearted city that's gonna stand by our values, Johnson said. Now, the article goes on to ask the question, what if Trump asked Denver police to participate in immigration enforcement? And Johnson says, absolutely not. We won't do it. He also went on to say, I do not believe that our governor is going to let them use our Colorado National Guard at the state level, he said, unless they were planning on bringing National Guard mobilized from Texas or Alabama to come invade Colorado. I don't know where they would find the forces to begin to do that. Now, he goes on and concludes with this, and that seems to me like a very, very bad idea from start to finish that no reasonable American would support, he said. The mayor also takes heart that the people of Denver, not just the administration, would likely resist a mass deportation effort from the federal forces. And here's what he concludes, and this is chilling. More than us having DPD stationed at the county line to keep them out, you would have 50,000 Denverites there, Johnston said. It's like the Tiananmen Square moment with the rose and the gun, right? You'd have every one of those Highland moms who came out for the migrants, and you do not want to mess with them. Is he dead serious? The Tiananmen Square moment with the rose and the gun kind of moment? And as a reminder, and I pulled this up, I know a lot of you guys know what it is, but there are liberals listening, right? And here it is, the Tiananmen Square protest in 1989 and the massacre. A complete and utter massacre. The Tiananmen Square protests, known in China as the June 4th incident, were student-led demonstrations held in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China, and they lasted from the 15th of April to the 4th of June, 1989. After weeks of unsuccessful attempts between the demonstrators and the Chinese government to find a peaceful resolution, the Chinese government declared martial law on the night of the 3rd of June and deployed troops to occupy the square in what is referred to as the Tiananmen Square Massacre. Lots and lots and lots of Chinese citizens there died. It was a bloody massacre. And this is what this Denver mayor... Are you threatening civil war? Now, he has retracted his comments a little bit after that and said, well, maybe I shouldn't have compared it to that. Too late, man. You already said it. Kind of chilling. But he's not the only one, right? There's Democrat mayors, not as violent as this one is being, I should say, or virulent. But take a look. Tom did respond to the mayor of Denver. For starters, before I get into some of the other ones that are bringing up information. But Tom responds to Denver mayor. He says he is willing to go to jail, and I'm going to be willing to put him there, right? And here's what it says. Democrat Denver Mayor Mike Johnston recently said he was prepared to go to jail over his opposition to the Trump administration's border policy. The president-elect's pick to be the next border czar responded that he is willing to put him there. Quote, "You are absolutely breaking the law," Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, a designee, told Fox News' Sean Hannity. All he has to do is look at Arizona versus the U.S. and he would see he's breaking the law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail, and I am willing to put him there. Now, Homan pointed to a statute that says it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. So it's completely against the law what this Denver mayor is talking about doing, and Homan is pointing that out. Look, you're against the law. I'm going to take you to jail if you try that. It goes on. President Trump has been clear. We want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. So there's a big tug of war, so to speak, going on between those two right now. But it's not just Denver that is putting out, and the Denver mayor that is putting out information like that, saying that they're just going to combat and go against the Trump administration. No, there's more. In fact, take a look at this article. And this is on abcnews.com. And it's headlined, "Democrats are planning to fight Trump's mass deportation plan." Now, it goes on. Immigration advocacy groups and Democratic leaders are seeking to disrupt, strong word, President-elect Donald Trump's plan to deport millions of undocumented immigrants by pre-drafting lawsuits that could be filed as soon as he takes office. So they're going with the court system here. Several immigration advocates and Democratic leaders told ABC News they have spent months preparing for the prospect of another Trump presidency and the expected crackdown on immigration that Trump and his newly tapped border czar, Tom Homan, have promised. And California is obviously included in that. In California, we've been thinking about the possibility of this day for months, and in some cases years, and been preparing and getting ready by looking at all of the actions Trump said he will take. California Attorney General Rob Bonta told ABC News. Now, the article goes on to state that it's not just California and Denver, as you've noticed. There are 24 Democrat state attorney generals across the U.S. who hope to present a unified front to block the Trump administration's immigration policies by using his first term as a blueprint, according to Sean Rankin, the president of the Democratic Attorney Generals Association. So 24 attorney generals are planning to step in and fight this. Now, that's not all. There's other states that have also kind of really gotten heavily involved in this. And here is this, and this is on the dailymail.co.uk. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey says she'll defy Trump's deportation order of illegal migrants. Now, she goes on to state this specifically. Healey, 53, insisted that Massachusetts State Police would absolutely not help the Trump administration's planned deportations during an interview with MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell. I do think it's important that we all recognize that there's going to be a lot of pressure on states and state officials, and I can assure you we're going to work really hard to deliver. But the government went on to admit that there is now a different situation in the courts that may make it more difficult for the state to defy Trump, but said there are other ways that they can challenge him. Some realities also need to be, noted, and that is, in 2016, we had a very different situation in the courts. And while I'm sure there may be litigation ahead, there's a lot of other ways that people are going to act and need to act for the sake of their states and their residents. Healey said these other channels include state legislation, executive powers, and regulatory authority. Other acts, which she doesn't specifically mention. Now, that's not all. In fact, in this next article in Huffington Post, it gets through a couple of others who are promising to defy Trump on these mass deportations. A couple of other governors, and here it is. Huffington Post, Democrat governors are vowing to fight Trump's mass deportations. And they admit most aren't prepared. But here's some of those governors, right? Of course, we have New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said he's willing to do anything to stop Trump's sweeping plans, including, and I think that's all of his plans, but including mass deportations that are contrary to our values. If it's contrary to our values, we'll fight to the death. Those are pretty nasty words by Mr. Murphy there, but that's what he told reporters last week. If there is an opportunity for common ground, we'll see that as fast as, we'll take it as fast as anybody can. And the only common ground that he would have is his common ground. There is no common ground with New Jersey's Murphy, right? He's very bold on his moves. But that's not all. We also have Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, of course, was just as forceful. You come to my people, you come through me, he told reporters last week, referring to minority communities in his state who experience the chaos, retribution, and disarray of Trump in his first term in office. So we've got a couple of other governors here also chiming in on the action. Of course, Arizona governor here has also both Galago, who just won the election, and Katie Hobbs are both vowing to fight against Donald Trump's orders. But again, there's 24 attorney generals all over the state. There's multiple governors who have already promised to fight him at any rate, right? I guess that's the way to put it. But either way, there are some pretty radical words coming from some of those governors. Some of them are saying, hey, we'll handle it through the courts. Well, good luck to you. I guess may the best man win on that. But either way, this is something that he campaigned on. And quite frankly, I would love to hear where you guys stand. Are you for this mass deportation? Are you not for this mass deportation? I'd love to get all your comments on that. And the other thing that I want to say, I'm definitely for the mass deportation of these criminals. They've brought drugs, fentanyl, crime, terrorist acts all into the United States of America. And the Biden administration is letting these people in and letting them go because a lot of these states and local authorities can't really do anything about it, because some of the laws in the books are just cooked the wrong way, to put it for a lack of a better word. And a lot of these, and in these sanctuary cities, ICE is not allowed in to arrest some of these people. So we've got a real problem with crime exploding all over the country. I don't care if the Biden administration wants to tell you, oh, it's not happening. It is. It really is. This is one of the reasons that I believe Donald Trump got elected. There's a right way to come into our country, and it's called using the legal system. And right now we have the Biden administration literally using an app that people can put whatever they really want in, and then they'll let you in the country. I mean, this is the most insane thing. It's gotten out of hand and it's getting crazy. But anyhow, I can't wait to hear your thoughts and concerns on all of that. Wanted to bring this to you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.